Here. Here. Feel.
Oi. You alright, lass? You were moaning in your sleep and sweating buckets besides. That'll be the Aether, I reckon. Some are more prone to the sickness than others. No need to fret, though. You'll soon get used to it. Feeling better, Kupo? Aha, you can see us. I had a feeling you could, Kupo. We're Moogles, and we live in this wood. Normal folks can't see or hear us, which makes you special, Kupo. And seeing as how you're special, maybe you can tell us something. The wood's been restless of late. Lots of strange things happening. Have you chanced to witness anything suspicious, Kupo? But of course you haven't. You've only just arrived. Well, there's nothing for it then. We'll just have to keep looking. Nice to meet you, Kupo. Gridania is still a fair way off, in case you were wondering. Seeing as you're awake, how about you keep me company till we get there? Them young'uns don't much care for conversation, see? Vermont's the name, and peddling's me trade. As for your good self, judging by your unusual garments, I'd say you're one of them new adventurers. Am I warm? I knew it. Going wherever the wind blows, seeking fortune and glory. Now that's what I call a living. So long as you can avoid dying, I mean. Ain't no secret that adventuring's a risky business, these days especially. What was it that first attracted you to do it? To gain power. Power? As in, power to do good? Like protecting the weak and fighting for what's right and all that? I thought that's what you meant. Well, adventurers do get up to a lot of fighting, that's for sure. You'll never be short of a chance to polish your warcraft and the adventure in business. When you arrive in town, you'd best enroll at the Adventurers Guild. They'll set you on the right path. And it wouldn't hurt to join a guild neither. Gridania is home to a few, so if you fancy learning how to fight with a bow, a polearm, or even spells, you should think about seeking one out. Just remember though, there's more important things than fortune and glory, such as breathing. Ain't no profit in being dead, and that's a fact. Halt. Go no further. What's this then? Ah! What's going on? A skirmish has broken out up ahead with the XIV. For your own safety, you must remain here until... Bloody hells, we shall hold them here. Try to break clear. That was too bleeding close. Nice of the XIV to send us a welcome party though, eh? Joking aside, this won't be the last time you meet those feathered fiends, so just take care, alright? By the by, is this your first trip to Gridania? Yes. Is it? Well then, let this journeyed itinerant tell you the ins and outs of your destination. The city of Gridania lies slap bang in the middle of the Black Shroud, the biggest luscious forest in all of Yorza. Though it ain't near as lush as it used to be, saying that, not since the calamity laid half of it to waste. The destruction prompted a herd of new nasties to move in, and gave the Exile unneeded encouragement. Birdmen's raids have becoming a daily occurrence. Ah, at long last. Behold, Gridania, the nation, forest nation blessed by the elementals.
The Black Shroud, the ancient forest, close to the heart of Eorzea. Beneath the boughs of its towering trees lies the woodland city-state of Gridania. Once a sanctuary from the world beyond the hedge, even the mighty elementals, eternal guardians of the forest, could not forestall the coming of the seventh umbral era. However, the goddess Nofika was never one to forsake her children, and today she welcomes another brave soul. One who may yet play a telling role in the tale of this great realm.
Ah, here's where we part ways, lass. I'm off to the markets to deliver me wares, and then it's back to the high road for me. Here, I want you to have this, by way of thanks for keeping me company. Hey, you never did tell me your name, did you? Well, here's an idea. Become the sort of storied personage I can brag about having met, and I'll consider us square.
May the matron take her to her bosom, that she may never want. And in her heart, sow serenity, purity, and sanctity.
You there. Yes, you. Your face is not known to me. Newly come to the city, no doubt. I am Bertinant, a wood whaler of Gridania. It is my duty to protect our nation from her enemies while welcoming those who may yet prove her friends. Let us see which you are. Welcome to Gridania, a vibrant forest nation cradled in the bosom of nature. Please select the control scheme you wish to use. To be recognized as an adventurer in the city-state of Gridania, you must first register yourself with the Adventurers Guild. Another green adventurer, I presume? I thought as much. We cannot allow strangers to wander Gridania unchecked and untested. Before you rush off and begin pestering every second citizen for work, I suggest you make yourself known at the Carline Canopy. That's the headquarters of the local Adventurers Guild, in case you were wondering. The Carline Canopy is the building you see behind me. Speak to Mother Mionin within and she will take you in hand. Well, well, what have we here? A wide-eyed and wondering young adventurer, come to put your name down at the guild, I assume? Welcome. Mion's my name, or Mother Mion, as most call me, and the Carline Canopy is my place. As the head of the Adventurers Guild in Gridania, I have the honor of providing guidance to the fledgling heroes who pass through our gates. No matter your ambitions, the guild is here to help you attain them. In return, we expect you to fulfill your duties as an adventurer by assisting the people of Gridania. A fine deal, wouldn't you agree? To an outsider's eyes, all may seem well with our nation, but naught could be further from the truth. The people live in a state of constant apprehension. The Exil and various gangs of common bandits provide an unending supply of trouble compounded by the ever-present threat of the Garlean Empire to the north, and that is to say nothing of the calamity. Even now, the wounds have barely begun to heal. But I speak of it as if you were there. Forgive me. 5 years past, Eorzea was well nigh laid to waste when a dreadworm emerged from within the lesser moon Dalamund and rained fire upon the realm. It is this which people call the Calamity. Scarcely a square malm of the Twelveswood was spared the devastation, yet despite the forest's extensive wounds, not a soul among us can recall precisely how it all happened. I am well aware of how improbable that must sound to an outsider. It is improbable, but it's also true. For reasons we can ill explain, the facts surrounding the calamity are shrouded in mystery. There are as many versions of events as there are people willing to recount them. Yet amidst the hazy recollections and conflicting accounts, all agree on one thing, that Eorza was saved from certain doom by a band of valiant adventurers. Whatever else we've misremembered, none of us have forgotten the heroes who risked life and limb for the sake of the realm, and yet, whenever we try to say their names, the words die upon our lips. And whenever we try to call their faces to mind, we see naught but silhouettes amidst a blinding glare. Thus have these adventurers come to be known as the Warriors of Light. Pray do not feel daunted by the deeds of legends. We do not ask that you become another warrior of light, only that you do what you can to assist the people of Gridania. Great or small, every contribution counts. I trust you play your part. All that's left then is to conclude the business of registration. Here's a quill. Scrawl your name right there. Oh, and I would appreciate it if you used your real name. There's a special place in the 7th Hell for those who use amusing aliases. Tolucc might? And you're quite sure that isn't an amusing alias? Very well. From this moment forward, you are a registered adventurer of Gridania, nation blessed of the elementals and the bounty of the Twelveswood. The guild expects great things from you. Look at what just arrived. Another God's damn adventurer. Don't you start with that. Adventurers are the very salve that Gridania needs. The Elder Seed Seer herself bade us welcome them with open arms. Do you mean to disregard her will? Of course not, lest you forget it is my sworn duty to uphold the peace. Am I to blame if outsiders bring mistrust upon themselves? You, adventurer, mind that you do not cause any trouble here, or I shall personally cast you out of this realm and into the 7th Hell. Pay that outburst no mind. He meant only to counsel you. Suspicious characters have been prowling the Twelveswood of late, you see, and the wood whalers feel they cannot afford to take any chances. As is often the way with folk who live in isolation, Gridanians are wont to mistrust things they do not know well, your good self included. Fear not, however. Given a catalog of exemplary deeds, and no more than a handful of years, the locals will surely warm to you. On behalf of my fellow citizens, I welcome you to Gridania. May you come to consider our nation as your own in time. Now then, you may depend on old Mother Mune to teach you a few things that every adventurer should know. Mune, proprietress of Carline Canopy, wants you to perform 3 tasks that will help you learn the fundamentals of adventuring. Let us begin at the beginning, shall we? Now that you are a formal member of the Adventurers Guild, you must be sure you have a firm grasp of the fundamentals of adventuring. To that end, I have 3 tasks I wish you to perform. Your first task is to visit the Aetheryte. The massive crystal stands in the middle of the Aetheryte Plaza not far from Carline Canopy. As a device that enables instantaneous transportation, the Aetheryte plays a key role in the life of the ever-wandering adventurer. Once you have located the crystal, all you need to do is touch its surface. A member of the Wood Whalers will be present to offer further instruction. For your second task, you are to visit the Lancers Guild. There's no better place to learn the arts of the polearm. Speak with Jillian, and she will explain the benefits of joining the guild. For your third and final task, I would have you visit the markets at the heart of Old Gridania's commercial district. There you shall find weapons and armor, and all the various items that an adventurer might need on her travels. There is, however, more to the markets than buying and selling goods. Speak with Parsa Montret, and listen well to his counsel. The master merchant can be uncooperative at times, so be sure to offer him one of my famous eel pies. Like so many men, he is much more charitable when his stomach is full. Here, I made a batch not long ago. You have your tasks, Tolucc. May Nofika guide your path. Ah, and one more thing. Should you happen to come across any citizens in need, don't be afraid to proffer a helping hand. I am certain they will be pleased to meet an adventurer in whom they can confide their woes. Granted, the work they offer is unlikely to be of realm-shattering importance, but prove your worth and build a reputation, and in time, folk will be more inclined to entrust you with matters of moment. I also suggest that you lend an ear to the smith here in Canopy. The smiths are trusted representatives of the Adventurers Guild, and are an invaluable source of advice for neophyte heroes seeking to attain greatness. Greetings, adventurer. I see you are faithfully following Mother Mune's instructions. Allow me to offer you a bit of instruction myself. I'm Nisia, of the Wood Whalers, and I know a thing or two about the Aetheryte. Yes, that big crystal right there. Aetherites are devices that tap into ethereal energies, and are primarily used as a means to travel swiftly from one place to another. Return and teleport, the most common transportation spells, make direct use of the Aetherites and their connection to the flow of Aether. And as these devices are found in almost every corner of Eorzea, any adventurer worthy of the name will wish and seek out and attune herself to each one. Truly, few things in this world are so useful to an intrepid explorer. But you need not locate them all at once. Before rushing out into the wilds, I suggest you start with the Aetherites found here in Gridania. Should you wish to learn more about the Aetherite or transportation magic, I am here to answer your questions. By what right does a fledgling adventurer presume to address Parsa Montret, master of the markets? You think you can stroll in here bold as you please and demand my hard-earned knowledge? A merchant is not for naught, especially when dealing with those would-be heroes. If, on the other hand, you had some tasty morsel to curry my favor, then I might reconsider your request. Come now, this whole encounter reeks of Mune's handiwork, and more specifically her baking. Don't look so surprised, lass. I smelled that eel pie of yours a mom away. Hand it over. That flaky crust, just divine. Very well. I am a man of my word. Pay close attention, for I shall only explain this once. The aspiring adventurer need look no further than the rosewood and ebony stalls. Both are but a short stroll from where we stand. If you mean to do battle, you'd best be prepared with a quality set of weapons and armor. Such goods are the province of the rosewood stalls directly south of here. You will be pleased to learn that the merchants of Gridania are exceedingly particular when it comes to craftsmanship, so you needn't fear defective straps and the like. If it is potions and paraphernalia you seek, head north to the ebony stalls. The shelves there are lavishly stocked by widely traveled Udan merchants, and I may say, truly say, that I have seen things amongst their myriad wares that I scarce knew existed. Do you follow me thus far? The first step in any purchase is to select the stalls that meet your needs. Then you may concern yourself with the price and profit. There's little more I can teach you with mere words. Go, peruse the stalls and see for yourself that wares they offer. There's no substitute for first-hand experience after all, and I am weary of talking. Unless you another eel pie? Welcome to the Lancers Guild. I see you brought your own spear. If you seek to refine your skills with the polearm, then you have to come to the right place. Here at the Lancers Guild, spear wielders gather to train with one another, and further hone their abilities under the tutelage of our fine instructors. More than just an instrument of war, the spear is also a tool for hunting, and with game ever plentiful in the Twelveswood, the weapon has been the mainstay of the locals here since before the founding of Gridania. With the passing of time, our nation became the gathering place for spearmasters from across the realm, many eager to test their mettle against the famed might of our wood whalers. And it was here in Gridania that their myriad fighting styles came into contact, eventually giving rise to the art taught here today. That spear technique could be formalized at all owed much to the founding of the Lancers Guild by the wood whaler captain Mistial nigh on a century past. The tradition of accepting students from without as well as within Gridania's borders persists to this day, ensuring that the art of the polearm may not only survive but also continue to evolve. Well, there you have it. I hope this brief history of the guild has helped settle any doubts in your mind. The Lancers Guild is always eager to welcome new initiates. If you've a will to enlist, speak with me again and we can begin the enrollment procedures. Well then, have you made up your mind to enlist in the Lancers Guild? Jillian wishes to reaffirm your desire to join the Lancers Guild. Excellent. I shall let Guildmaster Yuane know to expect you. All who seek admittance to our ranks must present themselves before him. He will judge if you are fit to become one of us. Pray make your way to the training area within. Our Guildmaster awaits you there. Well met, adventurer. I understand you wish to learn the Lancer's art under our roof? Though you have doubtless brandished a spear before this day, and perhaps even in earnest, you still have a long way to go before you may call yourself a Lancer in sooth. In my capacity as Guildmaster, I shall guide your training, beginning with the very basics, the principles of our art. There exist myriad fighting styles, each of which has its own unique abilities. None, however, can claim to be as offensively minded as ours. Our approach is ever one of attack, no matter who or what we face. An experienced Lancer is able to wield a polearm as if it was an extension of his body. He transforms into a raging storm before his foes, delivering a barrage of devastating thrusts and slashes. To facilitate such a relentless assault, we Lancers forego plate, favoring armor of leather and chain, such materials as provide adequate protection without unduly hindering movement. A lancer's worth may be measured quite simply in how swiftly and decisively he can pierce an enemy's defenses. By its nature, the polearm is a simple weapon to wield, for good or ill. Even in a farmer's hands, it is capable of wreaking considerable havoc. Thus has it been a mainstay of every great army since ancient times. Yet, known that a lance alone does not a lancer make, faced with unfavorable odds, an unseasoned spearman will break formation and flee without a moment's hesitation. A true lancer, however, flinches not before his enemies, for he knows not the meaning of fear. Ever does he press forward, disdainful of the odds that he might pierce the enemy line and open a path to victory. Needless to say, doing so requires no small amount of courage, and that is why our guild has striven from the first to instill this essential quality in every soul who passes through our halls. Arduous trials await you should you join our ranks. Knowing this, have you resolved to wield the lance? Yes. Well said, adventurer. I see no reason to deny you a place within our ranks. But I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Yuane, master of this guild. Pleasantries duly exchanged. I hereby assign you your first task, a trial, to be precise. In order to develop an affinity with your weapon and learn to gauge such things as distance, you are to go forth and brandish your spear with reckless abandon. The squirrels, ladybugs, and funguars that roam just outside the city should provide you with a suitable challenge. Put down, let us say, 3 of each, and then report back to me. The conquering hero returns. You have completed my little tasks, I trust? The 3 locations you visited will feature prominently in your life as an adventurer. It is best for you to grow familiar with them as soon as possible. And you took the time to listen to the woes of the citizenry? I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to lend your talents to one and all, no matter how trivial the matter may seem. I am thankful that you are an obliging sort, Tolucc. It is adventurers like you who will win the hearts of the locals and pave the way for those who follow. I pray Gudanya can rely on you and your aid in its struggles to come. So you are back. I trust you have learned something of the essence of our art? A lancer learns best when he is doing, each thrust making him stronger. Such things as strategy and technique will come in time, and never forget courage. Without it, you cannot hope to realize your potential. Your look betrays no hint of doubt. I would have you take with you this hunting log. It bears the names of the creatures against which our lancer might hone his skills. To be sure, there is no single way to master our art. The log serves to guide you should you find yourself in need of direction. That will be all for the present. Now, take up your weapon, sally forth, and cut a path for yourself. When we meet, I hope you see you're stronger for the first out in the world. Newly come to Gridania, are you? In search of fame and fortune, perhaps? If you have confidence in your abilities, I urge you speak with Tolucc of the God's Quiver. You can find him standing at vigil before the Archers Guild. The creatures of the Twelves Wood have been behaving most unnaturally of late, and it has fallen to the God's Quiver to pacify them. Alas, they are sorely undermanned. For this reason, they seek able adventurers to supplement their ranks. I am certain that your offer of aid would be well received. Bernadette sent you to me? Well, inexperienced or not, if you wish to prove your worth to the people of Gridania, you are right to come. You do wish to prove yourself, do you not? Mune wishes to send an adventurer to the instructor at the Bannock. Tolucc, have you visited the Bannock on your wanderings? It is a training ground found just outside the city where the soldiers of the Order of Twin Adar are drilled in swordplay and other martial matters. I mention this because an acquaintance of mine, a gentleman by the name of Galfred, is an instructor there, and I think you may be of use to him. Go and introduce yourself, and find out if there's anything you can do to help. Mind you do not stay far from the path. The Twelves Wood is no place for merry strolls through the underbrush. Greetings, Tolucc. Mune sent word to expect you. My name is Galfred, and I am responsible for training our twin adder recruits. I thank you for volunteering your assistance. The 12's Wood is much changed since the calamitous arrival of the 7th Umbral Era 5 years ago. The power of the elemental wanes, and the harmony of the forest gives way to chaos. A great abundance of life has been lost as the strong run rampant, stifling the weak and new-sprung. Though it may not appear so to the eyes of an outsider, the 12's Wood is an ailing. Its once rich variety is a fading memory. For the citizens of Gridania, the restoration of the forest is a sacred duty, and it is my hope that adventurers such as you will offer to aid them in their struggle. Listen to their requests, and do all that you can. May the elementals bless your endeavors to look amid. Galfred, Chief Instructor of the Bannock, wishes to inspect your equipment and thereby gauge your readiness for future missions. I see you are eager to lend a hand to Tolucc. That is well, but I cannot in good conscience send you into the forest until I have established that your equipment is equal to the task. It bears repeating that, in the 5 years since the dawn of the 7th Umbral Era, many of the 12's Wood's creatures have transformed into vicious, bloodthirsty monsters. Venturing into the forest without the proper gear is tantamount to suicide. I suggest you take time to evaluate your equipment. Once you deem your armor to be of sufficient quality, present yourself to me for inspection. Ready for inspection, are we? Right then. Eyes forward, back straight. Yes. I think you pass muster. You'd be surprised at how many young, promising soldiers get themselves killed by rushing off into the woods without first donning a decent set of armor. Your equipment, however, should provide the required degree of protection. Consider yourself ready for duty, Tolucc. Tolucc, by your tireless efforts, you have proven yourself a friend to Gridania. I believe you can be trusted with sensitive intelligence. I would assign you a mission of considerable import, yet the need for secrecy prevents me from disclosing its details until you have pledged your participation. I am authorized to tell you only that it concerns suspicious activity in the 12's Wood. Say that you will lend us your aid, and I shall proceed with the briefing. Galfred needs an adventurer to investigate suspicious activity in the Twelves Wood. Good. Time is of the essence, so listen well. You will by now have heard that a suspicious individual has been seen prowling the Twelves Wood. And you may also be aware that XIV activity has risen sharply in the region of late. What you may not know is that this increase coincided almost exactly when the first recorded sighting of the aforementioned individual. Suspecting a connection, we tightened our surveillance in hopes of tracking down our unknown visitor. Alas, our quarry is proving to be exceedingly elusive, almost as if he knows our movements ahead of time. But where whole units have failed, a lone adventurer may yet succeed. Acting independently and covertly, you may be able to close in on our quarry unnoticed. Fear and anxiety are beginning to take their toll upon the citizenry. Tolucc, for their sake, I ask that you aid us in this investigation. You have my gratitude. With your help, I am hopeful we will shed light upon this mystery. Begin your search at Lifemen's Stump. It is there that the majority of the sightings took place. Be forewarned, my people cannot offer you support, lest our quarry catch scent of our presence and evade us yet again. Proceed with caution.
Look, someone's already here. Oh dear, is that a sword in the stump? Bad idea. Really bad idea. It takes a lot less than that to incite the green wrath, you know. Why, the first time I came to the Twelves Wood, we almost ended up as a stranger dinner, just for crashing our airship in the wrong place. It was all Popolimo's fault, of course. Though, he'd sooner swallow his staff than admit that he's wrong.
No, not this one. Not even close. Kippo!
You know her, Kuplo-Cob?
Well, not exactly, but we did once share a carriage. Isn't that right?
How are the readings?
Same as the last. There is a disturbance here as well. And newly manifested at that. Kuplo Cop seems convinced of your innocence. But if this isn't your doing, whose is it?
Ever since the calamity, the forest's been really sensitive. The slightest disruption to the etheric flow, and this sort of thing happens.
It seems we have little choice.
Crystal Bearer. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. A light there once was that shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim. And as it hath faltered, so hath darkness risen up in its stead, presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee, deliver us from this fate. The power to banish the darkness dwelleth in the crystals of light. Journey forth and lay claim to them. By thy deeds shall the crystals reveal themselves to thee. Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart. Shine thy light on all creation.
You fainted. A surfeit of ether, no doubt.
And what have we here?
Our culprit, it would seem, an Ixal. And no ordinary Ixal either. A chieftain. That they would venture this deep into enemy territory, the beastmen may indeed be acting under orders. This is Papalimo. We found the
How are we
culprit.
feeling then?
It was an Ixaly
Better?
chieftain.
Good.
Yes, we'll seek Brother Esumian's cooperation in the matter. Ida?
Giant crystals?
Oh, loud.
Can't say I've seen
cackless.
any.
Much the same as
Are you
always.
sure you're feeling better?
Understood. Over and out. Kuplokot, please bear word of these developments to Brother Esumian. We shall soon return to give a full report.
Understood. Over and out. Kupo!
Here is where we part ways. Till next time, take care.
I think that sword might be a clue. You should definitely pull it out and take it back to the Bannock. You don't suppose that adventurer could see Kuplokot, do you?
And this occurs to you now? Yes, it seemed that way. Time will tell.
Well, time will have to, because you won't. You never tell me what's really going on. Unless You don't know what's going on either.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Tolucc, it's good to see you back. One of our patrols sent word that you have been spotted doing battle with enraged Trents. I'm relieved to find you none the worse for the experience. But tell me, were you able to discover at Lifemen Stump? A sword in the stump and a dead Ixol. I can say with absolute certainty that this blade is of Ixali origin. It is of a kind used exclusively in the Beastmen's rituals. The Ixal really set foot in the central shroud. So tight is our guard over the area, what purpose could have driven them to take such a risk? I fear something is afoot. What's that? A dubious couple sporting particular spectacles? So you have finally been acquainted with Ida and Papalimo. Lay your suspicions to rest. Gridania counts them among her staunchest allies. Both are scholars hailing from a distant land and have been with us since before the calamity. Their garb may appear outlandish and their exchanges baffling, but never once have they given us cause to doubt them. Indeed, they often assist the gods' quiver and the wood whalers in their work, much as I hope you will in the days to come, Tolucc. Although our unknown visitor eludes us still, owing to your efforts, we have acquired important intelligence on the Ixali threat. You have my gratitude. We are fortunate indeed to have a capable adventurer such as you aiding us. I pray you will continue to serve the people of Gridania in whatever capacity you are able.